Hello everyone, a very good morning. We will just wait for a few more minutes and see if more attendees can join in, and then we will begin the webinar. Hello everyone, I think we will begin now. Firstly, thank you so much for joining us today. I am Soumya and I am part of Sensfrx documentation team. And in today's webinar, we will be discussing about preventing fake orders on WHMCS. The webinar will be taken by Mr. Jinendra, who is a senior solution architect at Sensfrx. He has over 14 years of experience and he specializes in solution architecture and fraud prevention. For the past 5 years, he has focused on developing security solutions to combat online fraud, significantly reducing fraudulent activities for various businesses. He has led teams as a product manager, solution architect, and data scientist. His deep expertise in data analysis and machine learning help businesses stay protected against evolving fraud threats. So over to you, Janine, sir. You can begin the webinar.
Thank you, Soumya, for the introduction. Okay, so today we are going to talk about preventing fake registrations on WHMCS. Is anyone from hosting industry here? A quick response in the chat would definitely be helpful. Okay, no reply yet. No issues. What we'll do is we'll start the discussion, and as if anyone wants to contribute, please feel free to let us know in the chat. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. I hope I am clearly audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, so today's topic is preventing fake registrations on WHMCS. So over the last few months that we have been working with hosting customers, we have seen that the number of fake registration attack is on the rise, wherein using bots or sometimes even uh, manually, fraudsters create fake registration accounts, and those account creations are usually followed by some kind of fraudulent orders being placed. So we are going to discuss on what is the impact of these fake registrations and what are some of the practical tactics that can be implemented by hosting businesses for fraud prevention. So today's webinar's agenda would be first, I'll be introducing you to fake registrations. But when I say fake registrations, what I actually mean by that. Second would be, we'll discuss regarding the scale of fake registrations. How big is the problem? What is the impact of the problem? Third would be to discuss challenges of fake registrations. That is, what is the business impact? What happens? And what are the challenges that businesses face due to fake registrations? Followed by tactics. That is, what are the actual solutions that one can implement to prevent fake registrations on their platform? And last would be a discussion about our solution, that is Sensfrx, on how we can help businesses who are on WHMCS to reduce fake registrations on their platform. And lastly, we'll follow it up with a Q&A session. Now, let's move to the next part of the discussion. That is, what are fake registrations? Fake registrations basically occur when bots, or you can say malicious users, or not the genuine users, you can say, create accounts on the platform. And their motto is not to use the product or services on the platform, but instead their motto is basically to perform some fraudulent activity on the platform. So such kind of users, when they create account on the platform, like using bots or maybe with a malicious intent, then we call it as a fake registration or fake new account creation. Now, why does fake registration matter? Fake registration matter because it often leads to fraudulent orders, wasted resources, and many other business impacts. It can be financial, reputation, or just, I would say, plain hoarding of resources. All of these contribute towards businesses getting affected. So fake registration is a very big problem right now. If you have been on the hosting platform, then you might be already familiar with it, as I would say majority of the businesses have faced these fake registrations issue. Also, this is the growing trend right now. The rise of automation tools and bots, be it on any platform. If anyone has used WordPress or even Plustar, WHMCS, any of the hosting platforms, any of the CMSs out there, or even when there are no CMSs, the bot attacks are on the rise. The presence of easily available bots and tools on dark web has made it a lot easier to perform fake registrations on the platform. Due to this, this has become a very common issue. Now let's see how big of an issue fake registrations really is. So, how big of a problem is fake registration? Based on a report by Name Hero, about one third of new signups can be fraudulent, and they mostly target small to medium sized hosting services. And most of these small to medium sized hosting services are using WHMCS on their platform. So one third is a very big number. So you can see that they have about one third of dormant accounts, which can easily be used by fraudulent activities by the fraudster, or they might sell it on the dark web and someone else might use it for fraudulent activities. Also, one of the other reports which has been posted by Secureless 7, that is our parent organization, many companies report 5 to 10% of their annual revenue due to fake registrations. Also, one more report by Name Hero suggests that about 15 to 25% of registrations that happen on the WHMCS platform are through automated bots. Now, whatever registrations are happening through automated bots or malicious intent will definitely lead to some kind of fraudulent activity or the account being dormant. So this is the reason that we have to tackle this issue. That is, this is a problem that which has to be taken care of. The number of fake registrations has to be reduced as much as possible and brought to the minimum to ensure that only genuine registrations happen on the platform. Now, what are the different activities that businesses can take to ensure that fake registrations don't happen on the platform?
Sir, you are not audible.
Yeah, thank you, Soumya. So before proceeding towards the steps, let's discuss about challenges first. These are some of the top challenges that businesses face due to fake registrations. First is, of course, wasted resources because these accounts will consume space on your database. Then they'll consume manpower as well if there is any verification in place that has to happen. Also, they'll utilize your server's computing space. Apart from that, there are financial losses as well. As on sign up, you might be giving them some kind of free trial. So if there is a malicious user who is just doing fake registration and trying to exploit any offers on the platform, that can again lead to financial losses because these users will not have an intent to ever use it for a genuine purpose or say uh, proceed to become paid user on the platform. Third would be reputational damage, of course, as usually the fake registrations are followed by some kind of fraudulent activity on the account. This can lead to losing trust. If, say, there is a fake registration followed by some kind of stolen credit card attack, this can lead to a report being published somewhere saying that an attack had happened on the platform, a chargeback was issued by the customer, then the customer will lose interest on the platform. Whose stolen credit card was used, if he was on the platform, he'll lose interest. If this report is being read by some of your other users, they'll lose interest, or I would say reputation or trust on the business. Next being security risk, of course, because like I've mentioned, fake registrations are often followed by a different kind of attack. It can be a transaction-based attack or it can be inventory hoarding attack. But any other malicious activity that gets followed by it can lead to further security risks. Then there is manual workload as well, because when these kind of accounts are created, you'll have to deploy some manpower who have to sit and dedicatedly see on which are the genuine accounts and which are the fake ones and remove them or ban them on the platform. So all of these together contribute towards challenges to the business. Majority ones being financial loss and wasted resources. And if they are followed by some kind of other attack, which can lead to reputational damage or security risks to the business. Now, what are the different key tactics that can be implemented to prevent fake registration? First is, of course, device fingerprinting. Imagine that your house is like your business, and the members of the house are like your users. The first thing that you'll do if you're observing that some kind of unauthorized users are coming in your house is first you'll place a CCTV and try to monitor the users, or you can say the members of the house who are coming in and going out. So this is something similar to that, wherein we implement device fingerprinting and we track each and every user, be it genuine or fake, who are coming on the platform. And our aim would be to identify what is the good user behavior, what are the usual patterns of the good users, which will help us identify against bad actors. It is genuine users or genuine users against or legitimate users against the bad actors. So device fingerprinting is something that definitely has to be implemented on your WHMCS platform. Second is, of course, behavioral biometrics. Now, after device fingerprinting implementation, where we are tracking each and every device being used by the user, it has to be followed by behavioral biometrics, wherein we track the users coming in. What is their usual mouse movement pattern? What is their usual typing pattern? What is their usual logging and timings? What are the usual page chronologies that they visit? What are the usual activities that they perform on the platform? All of these contribute towards the behavioral biometrics of the user. So this also definitely helps in identifying good users, especially genuine users against the bad ones. Third is IP and geolocation analysis. This also helps in identifying on where are your users coming from? What are the usual geolocations that they are coming and registering on the platform? And what is the IP that they are using? Often there are databases available for malicious IPs or proxy IPs. If we are able to do IP and geolocation analysis and identify the fraudulent IPs or geolocations being used, we can stop fake registrations then and there. Also, there is user-specific behavioral analytics, wherein for a specific user, we can analyze their pattern and identify whether this is a genuine user or not. So that can again help you in identifying the genuine users against the fake ones. So behavioral patterns of the device and behavioral patterns of specific users as well, all of these contribute towards identifying fake registrations. Often these users, while signing up, might use disposable emails, disposable phone numbers. So if you have a check in place, which will help you identify fake users against genuine ones, that can also help you in identifying genuine users who are trying to perform registration on the platform. Last would be to implement any fraud prevention tools. Is there any plugins available which will help you perform all of these activities all together? Then that should definitely be implemented. Basically, these tools will help you in taking care of device fingerprinting, behavioral biometrics, IP analysis, and a lot more policies or rules. A lot more features will be available to you to ensure that fake registrations don't happen. Now, at the beginning of this webinar, like Soumya has mentioned, that we have a product Sensfrx, which will basically help you in implementing all of these prevention tactics. So I'll cover some points here and we'll follow it up with a quick short demo where I'll show you on how Sensfrx works, how do we identify frauds, and how you can have a detailed look on how fake registrations can be stopped on your platform. So now what Sensfrx does? Like I mentioned in the earlier slide, firstly, we perform a device fingerprinting. So you'll always understand on which users registered on your platform, what are the usual devices. Often after fake registration, means they might be successful in creating the account, but after the account creation, we'll identify that this is not a genuine user. So not just pre-registration, but post-registration as well, we should be able to identify whether this is a genuine user or not. So this is where Sensfrx can help you out. Apart from device fingerprinting, we also do user behavior analytics, where we monitor and analyze in real time the behavior of the user and create models around it, uh, which will help in identifying whether this is a genuine user or not. Say that the user is typing too fast or their mouse movements are too fast. Often they may seem erratic and not seem like genuine one. So all of these contribute towards identifying whether this is a genuine user or not who's trying to perform the registration. Then we also have a risk scoring engine in place where each registration attempt is assigned a risk score. And these risk scores are automated based on the policies that we have set. And based on the registration risk score that we have come up with, we make a decision whether the user should be allowed to make the registration or whether they should be denied. And if highly suspicious activities are observed, but we are not absolutely sure it, then they can be sent for manual review, where the website owner can just go and review whether the registered user is a genuine one or not. Now, as I had mentioned that the risk scoring is automated, how does Sensfrx decide on what risk score to assign? That all is handled through policy management. These policies that are available on our platform is completely customizable. You can decide on action for each policy, that is whether they should be allowed, challenged or denied depending on what risk score they are in and what is the risk score that can be assigned for any particular policy. This is extremely helpful. These also involve blacklisting and whitelisting, wherein especially during festive season when there is high amount of traffic on your platform and people are coming and purchasing products or services on your platform, then in that case, if any fraud is detected, you would be able to blacklist that IP or user then and there right away. So these policy management and blacklisting, whitelisting policies empower you then and there right away to implement policies to stop frauds right away in real time. Also, we have real-time alerts and actions. That is, you get emails in real time to understand what are the fraudulent activities that are happening on the platform. At the same time, the users who are trying to perform the registration, if they are stopped from making the registration, they also get the alerts right away. So if they are genuine user, then they can, of course, verify themselves and prove that they are genuine. And as soon as that verification is done, they can be allowed to make the registration and login. Last is, of course, seamless integration. That is, the integration is so easy. You have to just go to the WHMCS marketplace, download the plugin, generate API keys on our platform. You enter the API keys, that is property ID and secret, and you're done. You're up and running right away. And since FRX will come into action right away, and it will be able to stop frauds on your WHMCS application. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask it in the chat. As now I'll be proceeding towards a short and quick demo for Sensfrx. No questions from anyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, let's proceed towards a quick demo. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So this is Sensfrx dashboard, and here I'm showing a quick overview wherein we have a platform at ciso.sh WHMCS. On there, our WHMCS Sensfrx WHMCS plugin is installed, and on that account, as soon as the plugin is installed, on the dashboard, the property or your web application is visible. Now we can see here that in the last few days, how many new registrations happened. I am on the new accounts tab, wherein we can see what are the total number of new registrations that were attempted, around 40 were attempted. Among them, 20 were denied, two were challenged, that is, they were sent for manual review, and 18 were allowed for registration where everything seemed normal. Now, in this graph, you can see day wise on what were the registration attempts that were made. On 7th of November, around 13, I would say registrations were denied. This is a test account, of course. Usually, these numbers are a lot lower. But as is a test account, we had made a lot of uh, attacks on this platform to showcase this in the demo. But rest assured, the false positives are to the bare minimum. Like you can say near to zero. Most of our policies have a very high amount of accuracy, which I'll be showing it in some time. So when I say that you can see what kind of fake registrations are happening on the platform, here is a list of registration attempts that happened on the platform. Let's open one particular instance. Now, is in this instance, we can see all the details that we have received in this new account registration attempt. What is the device information, ISP information, location information, browser information, everything is available. The risk score that we came up with was 100. That is critical. We are absolutely sure that this is not a genuine registration. So new user registration was attempted. We identified that it was a disposable email. Also, abnormal registration rate was detected. That is, too frequent amount of registrations were happening. Even the screen resolution didn't seem like a regular one, a popular one. So in these cases, what happens is sometimes they've opened inspect element or they have opened it in a small windowed pattern to ensure that while they are performing the attack, they can see on what is happening. So all of these contributed towards identifying these multiple signals that we have identified. It has made a strong detection that this is not a genuine registration. Now this is I would say, manual review one where highly suspicious activities were observed, but we was not still absolutely sure that this is a definite attack. Disposable email was found, popular screen resolution was not there, but based on our confidence, we have set it up for manual review. So here mark approve or mark reject can be used to approve or deny the registration. Now let me just quickly take you through the policies. So these are the policies that you can set up. We have default policies like disposable email detector, disposable phone detector, duplicate transaction detector, high number of failed attempts, insecure payment gateway was used, or jailbroken device was used, joint account, that is same card is being used by multiple people, a large number of devices were identified. So such policies are available. There are a lot of policies that can be configured. You can also decide on what action has to be taken for a particular policy. Default means system generated one. You can set it up for approve, reject, or manual review based on your needs. We also have advanced policies. So these are basically machine learning based detectors wherein we track user behavior and identify whether this is a genuine registration or not. Also, we have card testing attack, brute force attack, many other policies are available. Even malicious source, if any phishing source is identified before landing on the registration page, if the user came from some malicious source, in that case, the registration will be flagged as suspicious. Also, you can create your own new policies wherein different categories of rules are available. Say you want to add a time duration based rule. These are transaction based rules. Say that I'm clicking data match and I'm saying that email address is a first time buyer. Credit card is among blacklisted credit cards that is being used while registration and placing orders. Uh, say that visitor IP is from a blacklisted IP address that we have. Accordingly, as soon as you create the rule, they'll be stopped from making the registration or making the transaction. Whatever policies will be set up, it'll come into action right away as soon as they are created. Also, like I had mentioned, blacklisting, whitelisting policies are there. You can select on what information do you have, user ID, email, username, or IP address. You can enter the information here and submit it, and it will get blocked right away. Similarly, whitelisting is also available, wherein if you don't want a certain IP or user ID to be tracked, or you don't want any friction for that user, accordingly, they can be whitelisted and they'll be spared from our scoring engine. Okay. So this was a quick demo, I would say. If anyone has any questions, I would be glad to take the questions. Any questions, anyone? Okay, I hope the session was insightful. If it was insightful to you, then at least give a thumbs up in the chat. That would help us. If you have any feedback, please post it in the chat. We'll be glad to work upon that. Thank you for your time, Soumya. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the insightful session. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. If you have any questions, then please feel free to reach out to us. We will be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.